till the midnight sky, burning high. Under blazing signs, we won't fall. In the electric neon night, we stand tall.
Blue flag, blue flag.
Welcome to Blue Flag Bandits, the series that takes you through the cream of the crap of Formula One from 2010 for as long as we want to take it. Driving the worst cars and in the worst teams, trying to bring them just a little smidgen of glory. It's round 4 of 2010, the first season that we're doing, and we're with the Virgin Racing team, and it is China, a circuit that's remained unchanged since 2004, which means it's a circuit we've driven for a long period of time. Even the couple of years it was off the calendar, it was more often than not featured in the Formula One games, and because it's unchanged, it should be a circuit that we know fairly well in comparison to the layouts of others that we've driven so far. Will that prove to be advantageous? We'll find out in just a minute, but let's take a quick look at your stand-ins after 3 rounds of the season. Still living off that solitary point that we gained in Bahrain, holding on to 13th place with the Saubers, the Toro Rossos, Barrichello and Liuzzi, the HRTs, the Lotus, and Lucas de Grassi, our teammate, the only drivers yet to score, and all currently behind us, trying to beat those other new teams of HRT and Lotus. That's the real goal. So that 1 point could be massive by season's end. At the top, though, Webber takes the lead from Vettel after being level on points after the first 2, and Fernando Alonso moves into 3rd place, just ahead of Lewis Hamilton, with Button in 5th. Some 40 points behind Webber, but there's plenty of points up for grabs, so that's a gap that can be overhauled. And in the Constructors, again, remain in 8th with our solitary point, but still ahead of those new teams, which is key. While at the top, Red Bull start to pull out a bit of a lead on McLaren, and Ferrari keep them honest in 3rd. The last round in Malaysia, not the best. Started 14th and found ourselves falling back to 17th, spending a lot of our time fighting with the HRT of Karun Chandhok, nearly being lapped by Mark Webber, probably a couple more laps and he would have got past us, and being some 30 seconds off Rubens Barrichello up ahead. As I mentioned, this might be a circuit that, because we know, might be an advantage to us. It may also still prove to be quite problematic. Straight line speed is a bit of a problem for our little car, but let's jump into practice and we'll talk a little bit about what happened in the real life 2010 Chinese Grand Prix. Here we go then, let's talk about the 2010 Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. This is the first circuit in 2010 that hasn't changed or left the calendar permanently all the way up to the present day. So it should mean that it might be alright for us. But in the real 2010 Grand Prix weekend, the practice sessions were notably punctuated by cars shedding parts, most famously Sebastian Buemi's front wheels making a break for it at the end of the back straight, something that gets put in Formula One crash compilations to this very day. It wasn't just Buemi that lost parts, though. Both the Lotus of Trulli and the Virgin Racing of Glock decided to go for some impromptu weight shedding during the sessions, while the now standard McLaren Red Bull duo topped the timesheets in practice. While there was chaos in the qualifying in Malaysia, the qualifying session in China looked a little bit more normal. The new teams fell at the first hurdle alongside the Force India of Vitantonio Liuzzi, but Glock did lead the way of the new teams in 19th. He did, however, Note that he'd been blocked on his fast lap by Barrichello. Di Grassi only managed to beat the HRTs of Senna and Chandok. But the other end of the grid saw the Red Bulls take a 1-2 with Vettel leading Webber, and Alonso finished third at the end of quali.
Your fastest in this session so far.
The race began under clouds and rain, much like we'd had during Malaysian qualifying, though Timo Glock's Virgin Racing wouldn't make the start after a loss of air pressure in the engine valve system, so that was another DNF. It was actually a DNS for Virgin Racing after a fairly dismal opening few rounds. Lucas Di Grassi would at least make the start, and he avoided a 3-car pile-up during the first lap to move a few places up the order, especially as quite a few chose to pit under the resulting safety car for intermediate tyres. Wouldn't last long for Lucas though, as his clutch failed on lap 8, and it was another double DNF to Virgin Racing's 4 rounds of Formula 1, with just that 14th place in Malaysia to keep them company. Much like Malaysia, this was a race of multiple incidents, especially with the shifting conditions, circuit moving from intermediate to heavy rain near the end. McLaren came out on top and took the 1-2, Button leading home Hamilton, while Nico Rosberg picked up his third place in a row. Once again, Kovalainen finished for Lotus and took 14th, while the HRTs finished 16th and 17th, compounding the issues that Virgin Racing had finished with, and saw them still bottom of the constructors. What are we aiming for in qualifying then? Well, if that spins anything to go by, it might be a tough one, despite the fact this being quite similar to Malaysia in the way the circuit's laid out, and definitely, as I said, a circuit that hasn't changed since 2010, so one that we've driven more recently in this format. Hopefully that gives us a little bit of an advantage, although once again, demonstrating that it could be difficult. Let's aim for Q2 and look for somewhere like 15th place. So then, we're into Q1 here in China, and practices haven't gone great.
Let's get the car on the track.
Pace is not looking particularly good, and that's reflected.
Limiter off.
In the footage you've seen, I'm sure. Wide out the final corner.
You're into
3, we move up to 16th.
place. 1 minute to go.
May just about be enough. Flying through the first sector on this lap.
Just 30 seconds left in the session.
Wide there, but we keep our foot in it. Still up in sector 2. Pushed back down to 17th by Barrichello as well. Just about to avoid the run out again, trying to just get a little bit of drag. Wide into that hairpin. Across the curve, run wide. What can we do? 39.2.
Good work, mate. We're through the next session.
Whew. At least squeeze through. in 15th place, just 0.3 of a second clear of Sebastian Buemi. That was a tight run thing, that. There with Alguersuari, Hulkenberg and Barrichello. Going out in Q1, Buemi, Kobayashi, Chandok, Trulli, Senna, Kovalainen and Lucas Di Grassi brings up the rear, but Q2... Let's go and get a lap in.
Carter track.
Currently, the only people we're ahead haven't set times yet. But
That's put you into 7th. 4th row of the grid. Come on, push it that little bit harder.
39.3. From 7th, immediately
We're
down to
currently in the
11th.
drop zone, mate. We need you to move up into the top 10 or we won't progress to the shootout.
Ahead of... I was going to say ahead of Schumacher,
You're
but not
almost
anymore.
out of fuel. Almost out of fuel. You need to pit within the next 2 laps.
Again, much like Malaysia before, find ourselves getting it together in Q2 to a point. Find ourselves in 12th. Whether we can pull back enough time to fight for the top 10 is debatable, but can at least go for it. Just into 14th now.
You've been
Where we
shifted
stay.
down to 14th place.
1.2 seconds clear of the Toro Rosso of Alguersuari, and not massively far behind the Renault of Petrov, but I think we've actually got a massive amount of speed left. Hulkenberg is 16th as we get shuffled back again, this time to 15th. And for the third race in a row, we end qualifying in Q2, some 3 seconds off the guys at the front, but we do finish ahead of Hulkenberg and Alguersuari and take 15th on the grid. Della Rosa, Schumacher, Barrichello and Liuzzi also joining us in the drop zone. It's a decent-ish place to be, I guess, but I think this could be, much like Malaysia, another struggle. But we'll get across to the race. You'll join us in the garage pre-race for the Chinese Grand Prix, race number 4 of this 2010 season, and we start in P15, which is better than you'd expect from this car, but not quite where we could be, although confidence has been lacking in the last couple of rounds, just as we try and work out the kinks with the way this game handles. So it's going to be a tough race for us, but let's take a quick look at the full lineup. Webber from Vettel, Alonso, Hamilton, Button, Massa, Petrov, Kubica, Rosberg, Sutil, your top 10. We dropped 8 in Q2 with Liuzzi, Barrichello, Schumacher, Della Rosa, Hulkenberg and Alguersuari in, but just behind us. And then at the back, Buemi, Kobayashi, Chandok, Trulli, Senna, Kovalainen and Di Grassi. Now, it's been a bit of a mixed bag of a season so far. That 12th in qualifying followed by P10 finish in Bahrain seems like a lifetime ago already. Finished 15th in Australia after starting in 12th. And started 14th in Malaysia and finished 17th. So 15th could see us dropping outside of the top 20 if things don't go our way. Hopefully not. I'd like to at least finish where the team want us to finish. So that's 18th. So 18th is going to be our target. A real low ball of a target. But with the way the races have been going and the fact that there are plenty of long straights here, we're going to be down on power and probably struggling against most of the guys around us. But let's get into the race, shall we? And hopefully we can better our target. Two Red Bulls on the front row. We're in 15th. Degrassi at the back.
We finished mid-table last time out. We need to try and better that here. Let's give this one 100%.
Engineer saying we need to give this one 100%. That's what we've been giving all of them, but immediately you see we're just eaten up off the line by the Toro Rossos. There on the inside, it's a never-ending first corner, but you can have a little cut back there, and we're ahead of Schumacher and De La Rosa. It's a really good start, that. It's just what we needed. The dive on Barrichello didn't quite work out, but Barrichello, one of the drivers we've been fighting with a lot on and off this season so far.
You can take this guy easily.
Go past him again. Cubits are all over the road. You don't see one side of him. We're into the top 10, nearly P9 there as we stamp on the power a little too early. We survive and we're into 10th. Sutil seems to be struggling off that corner. Can we use the slipstream? The Force India just pulling away. A little too late on the brakes. Run wide, Sutil goes back through.
You've dropped to 10th position. 10th position.
Dropped to 10th, but started down in 15th. Really great first lap. Just the kind of start we needed. Little bump on Sutil, no damage to either car there. They seem to struggle through the first couple of corners, we've noticed. Basically every race so far that the AI has parts of the circuit they struggle at. Bahrain, it was the endurance section, it was the chicane in the middle of the lap in Australia. And Malaysia is through that double right-hander in the middle of the lap. Here it seems to be turns 1 and 2.
Sutil's next. Line him up for a pass.
They don't seem to be great out of here either. Once again, we're on the back of Adrian Sutil going into the hairpin. Going to go defensive. Going outside.
Good job, nice
They
overtaking.
don't have the power on me, but we're still at the inside into the final corner. And we're past them. We're into P9. Back in the points. First time really since Bahrain. Well, Australia, I guess, in the early stages, but actually look like in the race we've got decent pace on these midfield cars. Don't do that though.
Your tyres are at optimal temperature. Try to keep them there.
Sutil now has Kubica to worry about, which means I've also got Kubica to worry about. So getting on the power too early. See, they really lose time moving on to the back straight, so that is going to be one of the advantage spots for me, I think. But we're in P9 at the moment. So at the moment, because I run really wide into turn 1.
Kubica should be coming in for tyres within the next 4 laps.
Trying to roll off the brakes so I can keep some pace up. I'm trying my best now not to overdrive. Tyres are starting to go. The VRO1 as well. Obviously not the most rapid on the straights. Just using a few little bits of this track where I'm a little bit better than the AI to just edge away. I nearly sent it from Malaysia there. But that's cost him time. Good for me. We've got leaders pitting. Into the hairpin.
The guys have looked at the figures. We think that Kubica will be stopping in 3 laps time. Kubica stopping in 3 laps time.
The station here really is to try and come in at the same time as Kubica. As well. Jump Jensen button. There's been an incident at turn 1. Possibly involving Kubica because he's not behind me anymore. I think he might have had an incident with a car exiting the pits. Wide through the hairpin, but all right.
Slow for the line and put the limiter on.
Schumacher in as well.
Brake for the pit box.
Is it just Schumacher that's in?
Wait for the lollipop.
Come on. Schumacher, I think, has beaten us out here.
Don't forget to turn the limiter off.
He has, but we do make it out ahead of Sutil, who I think has just crunched his front wing off. He has. Pit exit is lethal. Right then, can we catch back up to Schumacher? Not like that, we can't. Sutil and the Yahtzee for company. That was not helpful. The Yahtzee goes
we've
past.
lost the position. Keep on his tail. Try to take it back.
Tyres but Wavy trying to send as well.
Remember to pit this lap.
What? I don't need to pit. Just pit. Team trying to bring me in again. We won't be listening to them. As we just try and defend from the Yahtzee. Brake too late.
Been bumped down to 18th.
In the pits though, so we're going to regain some places here. Where do we get back up to? Back up to 14th, which is higher than where we started. He's still on the option as well, so that would suggest he's got to come in.
Come on, you can take this guy easily.
A little squirrely trying to push. Do. I haven't lost too much time on them. I go sideways round corners. So,
We estimate that Kobayashi should be coming in for tyres within the next 2 laps.
oh no.
Just been told you've been given a drive-through penalty for unsportsmanlike behaviour. The stewards thought you were at fault for that collision.
I've collided with my teammate and I've got to drive through. That was clumsy. That was very clumsy from me.
We can take this guy. Come on, come on.
Going past Cove Alignment, but we've got to run a drive-through.
You're coming up to one of the Hispania racing cars. One of the Hispania racing cars. Limiter on, limiter on.
Started so full of promise, but here we are.
Limiter off, limiter off.
Making a drive through. Degrassi is out. Once again, having to arrest a spin. I'll level with you. The temptation here would be to restart the race, try and go for that giga start again and fight my way back up to where we come from, but I'd say that devalues this. This series is going to be about hopefully some glory, but there are going to be some pretty painful races. They're likely to get lapped in this one. It was my fault. So eager to get on with it, I thought I'd have the opportunity to get round in time before Degrassi came past. I've taken out my own teammate and I'm going to finish behind all of the other new teams. At the moment, Delarosa's way behind us. Sutil's way in front of us, so we're not going to finish stone dead last, but we might as well. This is going to be the low point, I think, of our opening few rounds. It's definitely going to be the low point. Hopefully it'll be the lowest point of the season, but still a long way to go. Definitely being caught by Mark Webber though. If I can make it to the end of this race without being lapped, that'd be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen.
We're catching Kobayashi. He's dropping a massive amount of times here.
Really? Is he really? If catching Kobayashi's on, that's something. I mean, as things go, it'll be 2 races in a row where we've not quite hit our own targets. I think it'll be the second time this season that we've not hit the team's target. We're wanting a lot more in Australia than we could give them, but it was just based off round 1. The surprise point. See that red dot behind us, it's closing.
Flag conditions. Let the car immediately behind through. You're not racing him.
There it is. It's taken 4 rounds this season, but we yield to blue flags in China. What you'd expect, really, for the Virgin Racing team. Fernando got on the curb. I think he clipped his front wing. Try and let the man in third go by as well. There we go. Just as easily in a position like this, just pull over, retire the car. We'll only retire if it's forced upon us, really, through incident or mechanical. If the car can still run, then we will continue to drive that right to the end of the race. Try and do that through everything. Like I've said before, the cars that we're going to be driving, the expectation is that you're going to have races like this where you're down near the back being lapped. A lot of this is through my own fault. Pushing too hard on turn 1, spinning, colliding with Lucas and penalty for it. As it stands, we're still ahead of Pedro de la Rosa, so still a battle to not finish last. Senna now in front of us, only 8 seconds. I assume he's taken a late stop. Maybe has had an issue as we get another blue flag. Really awkward spot for it. Felipe Massa. Right off to let him go.
Go for it. We've got this guy.
Senna down to 3 seconds away. We might actually be able to catch up and have a go at the HRT. We've got damage. It's just where he's moving out of everybody's way as I run incredibly wide. It does seem very slow.
Trulli's lapping faster than anyone else. He's just put up a new fastest lap.
Oh no, Trulli putting up fastest lap of the race as we cruise past Senna. Let's have a look. No damage. Does seem to be losing time though, as we're all of a sudden up to... Oh, we were in 22nd, weren't we? Yeah. It was 21st. Barrichello is down in 20th. Oh, just catching another spin. Barrichello's still coming down as well. Either he's also got problems or he's slowing down a lot to let the leaders go by.
Your times are much faster than Barrichello's.
Just a couple of laps left. If we can catch Barrichello, I wouldn't say that represents a comeback, but certainly be something after what has been a pretty miserable race. I mentioned it in the intro to the race, at least, that the way the results have been going, I'll probably slip out of the top 20. Barrichello's surely got problems.
That was a great overtaking manoeuvre. You made that look easy.
And then hand it back to him. Or will we? No. Doesn't seem fast enough. He's got a problem. Fine by me, we'll take that position and run away.
You need to let the car behind you past. He's not racing you for position.
Hamilton by. Right, also letting Barrichello past, although that's not Barrichello. I think that was actually a Mercedes, and I've given him the opportunity to go past Hamilton behind us, affecting the race lead. Webber takes the victory. We're a lap down, this is it. We won't complete all 28 laps. We'll come home in 20th.
A slightly disappointing result.
We finish in P20, a lap down, along with Barrichello, Senna and Pedro De La Rosa. De Grassi does not finish after colliding with us. Pretty disappointing race in the end. And if you look further up the field, Shandok just outside the points in P12. The drivers that we were fighting with, Schumacher, Petrov, they all finished up there in the points as well. Webber, Alonso, Vettel, Massa, Hamilton, Rosberg, your top 6. As I said, Petrov, Schumacher, Button and Buemi getting points. So Toro Rosso now have points on the board. We remain in P13 by virtue of the fact that we got our points back in round 1, but Buemi now level on points with us. At the top of the driver standings, Webber extends his lead, maybe, to Vettel to 23 points, who's 10 ahead of Alonso, 9 ahead of Hamilton. And there's a little gap back to Button, Massa Rosberg and Schumacher. And the constructors, Toro Rosso jump us with their point today, but we're still ahead of HRT and Lotus and Sauber. Chandok came mighty close there in P12. That really would have been something if we'd had that bad a race through our own driving and had HRT come away with points. They didn't, so we can at least remain in the top 10 of the constructors. Up at the top though, Red Bull pulling further away from Ferrari, who've jumped McLaren by 9. Mercedes sitting in 4th, quite some distance back, but with a little buffer back to Renault. Not really an awful lot I can say about the Chinese Grand Prix. It had started so incredibly well because we managed to get an absolutely mega start, move all the way up into 7th during the pit stop phase, pushing too hard to catch Schumacher, span the car in turn 1, had to cede places as everybody came past, and then thought I had enough time to get out ahead of Degrassi. Collision, drive-through penalty, and a long time at the back on my own, but fortunately we took Senna and Barrichello at the end just to at least make the finishing position just a little bit better. But P20, where you'd expect us to be, but not where we have shown pace to be this season. Well, that's the flyaway races at the start of the season done. Next up will be Catalonia in Spain, a circuit we all know very, very well, and the one used in the introduction to this very series and season because it was a testing venue. Hopefully, the run of European races and Canada can do us some favours in the middle of the season. But a lot of power-orientated tracks coming up, so might be a struggle for the little Cosworth engine that could. Hopefully they all join me then and we can get back towards the points. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are. Take it steady. I'll see you soon.